Today agenda is validation rules and formula rules. Okay, what is a validation rule? Okay, validation rule is a way of validating the data and throwing an error message if the record does not meet the organization rules. Validation rule is a way of throwing an error message if the data is not meeting the organization specified rules, or you can say
To whom
criteria.
it is thrown to whom it throws an user.
Yes. Okay. And what is a formula field? A formula field is a read-only field which calculates a value when a record is created or updated based on the given formula. You can't edit the value of formula field and you can't set a value for formula field. And so in the history tracking, you can't enable the history tracking for formula fields, roll-up summary fields, and other number fields. Usually, roll-up summary fields and auto number field values will be stored in the database, but formula field values will not be stored into the database. Those will be calculated whenever the record is queried or displayed to the end user. Okay, so now let's see the validation rules first. So when the validation rule will be thrown, whenever a record is created or updated, the validation rules will be fired. Okay. So when a record is deleted, the validation rules will not fire. Okay. Now here, let's have some fields called ID, What I need to do is, say, I would like to have student fees, actual fees. Maybe I can give the discount. Okay. Now let me have discount percentage. Let's say number field, or let's say percentage. Discount. Now, so this, let's say I have student fees is 1 lakh and discount is 10%. Now the actual student fees will be 1 lakh minus 10% of the student fee, means 10,000, means actual fee is 90,000. So this what it should be: whenever the record is created or updated the discount, updated the student fee, automatically the actual fee should be calculated. For that, let's create a formula field. Here we have formula field. Okay, in this formula field I can say that actual student fee. So now if you say that it's a formula, let's say whatever the formula, it returns some data, right? If you say that rate of interest or something, there will be some formula called PTR by 100. So interest equal to PTR by 100. So then what it is returning? It calculates some interest amount. So it returns interest amount. That's called a number, right? The same way here, we have a formula field and this actual student fee is the currency. So it returns the actual fee as currency, right? Next, here you need to give the formula. The formula is like uh, the student fee into discount by 100, something around that, right? So let's give this. Here you can select the fields: student fee into now. If you want to see the some advanced formulas, if you click on this, it opens all the methods here, all the functions. Now for now I'm not giving any functions, just using, there is the example for the formula field. For that, what you can do is you just click on check syntax. Mistake in the syntax, it will give the error. Okay. Now let's go and create a student with now here the formula field is not displayed on the user interface because you cannot set a value for formula field. So it always calculates based on the formula. Just click save. Actual student fee is 60. So this is percentage means 10 into 10, something around that. It calculates like this. So that's why what we used to do is discount also we used to have number. Instead of percent, you can have number. So now just simply update this. If you update the formula, just refresh the record automatically. because usually what we used to think, right, if you give the percentage means discount by 100, usually we'll give like this. If we give like this, as we have already entered percentage, then it creates like percentage by 100 or something around that. So instead of that, if you give like this, now 60,000, then actual fee is 6,000. Okay, so this is actual amount. In actual amount, 10% will be the actual fee. That's how it is. Means it takes 90% of the discount. Okay, now let's say if you take 90%. So if you want to calculate exactly, actually our formula is wrong. This should be like this. Student fee minus, then this should be the actual discount. Now let's see. This is the actual fees, right? Now here if you give 10%, okay, that's the difference between the percent and discount. Okay, if you give actual number, then you have to give by 100. If you take it percentage, then you don't need to give by 100. Okay, so then the actual or actual student fee formula was wrong because we have to subtract the discount amount from actual fee, then only, oh sorry, student fee, then only we'll get the actual fees. That's how we have to give the formula fields. Okay, now let's use some different thing, validation rules. Let's say I don't want to have more than 50% of discount. I should not have more than 50% discount. Then how can we say that? Let's say if I give like 60% or 80%, give 80%, then I should throw the error message that so the discount should not exceed more than 50, right? So in that case, what we can do is we can go for the validation rule. Yeah? Here we need to throw the error. So if the user is trying to enter more than 50, then we have to say that the discount does not exceed, I mean, discount should not exceed more than 50, right? So then let's go and create a validation rule. Yeah, validation rules. This is very much important. Be careful. The message should be clear, right? So discount more than 50, something you can use. Or simply what you can do is discount validate. Validate. Here you can mention that description means the explanation of this validation rule, what we are writing and why we are writing this validation rule. Okay. User is not allowed to have discount more than 50. Now let's go here. We need to validate that, right? So whenever you are going to throw the validation, if the percentage is more than 50, then only you need to throw the error, right? So just take it. What is the field? Just take the field student, then 50. Okay. Now it should throw the error. Discount should be Here, whenever a record is created or updated, if the discount is more than 50, then condition will be true. So then it throws the error message like discount should be less than or equals to 50. So whatever the message you want to display to the user, then that error message should be entered here. That's called it is error message. Or where the error message should be displayed. So usually, uh, if you edit, if you don't give value, click on save. Then what happens? It throw the error message here, field level, and there is error message also here, right? This is also error message. This is called top of the page. This is at the field level. So here we have two options, at the top of the page or at field level. If you want to throw the validation at specific field like discount, select the field. If you want to display at the top of the page, then you can select this option. Okay, just click save. Now here, just enter, edit and try to save. Let's change this to edit. It throw the error message. Discount should be less than or equals to 50. Okay. So this is how you have to write the validation rule. Okay. So now let's go ahead and see some different validation rules. So if you give 45 something around that, we have given the different field. Just change the formula. Okay. So now let's see. My requirement is, you have to be careful. My requirement is, if the department is account, then student fee should be 50,000 only. Okay. Give the clarification. So how the requirement will be given. Okay. Student fee should be 50K if, let's say, for department accounts. That's it. They won't give anything else. Okay, they will say that student fee should be 50K for department accounts. That means if the department is accounts, then student fee should be 50,000. It should not be less than 50,000 or greater than 50,000. It should be 50,000. Okay, so if they want it should be greater than 50,000, greater than or equals to 50,000, then they'll say that it should be more or 50K. Okay, they won't say that less than or greater than. because they are business paper. They will say that it should be more or equals to 50. So now let's write the validation rule. First, we need to check that whether the student department is accounts or not, right? And then if student department is accounts and salary, I mean, student fee is less than 50K, 50,000, less than 50,000, then we have to throw the error message. Okay, so here we have two conditions. One is department should be accounts and salary, or let's say student fee should be less than 50k, then only we need to throw the error message. So if it is more than 50k, you don't need to throw the error message, right? So then let's write like this validation rule. Let me change this only. So here you might have heard about and or conditions, right? And means condition, so you can have number of conditions, or should be true, right? And syntax will be like this: and condition 1, condition 2, so you can have number of conditions. In this case, if condition 1, condition 2, and how many conditions are there, all conditions should be true, then only it returns true. If any condition is false, then automatically it will be false. Okay, so this is how we have to have the syntax. Syntax is and of condition 1, condition 2. If any condition 1 or condition 2 or condition 3, any condition is fails, then it returns false. If all conditions are true, then it returns true. Okay, if condition return true, then only the validation rule will be thrown. Means if discount is greater than 50, that means it is true, right? Then only it throws the error, otherwise it won't throw, right? The same way here, let's say I'm giving the name like validate. Here, first what we need to do is we have to check whether the department is accounts or not, right? As it is a pick list, we have a function called is pick val. Okay, and so here if you observe that we have two conditions, right? So first condition is student fee less than 50,000, right? This is first condition. Second condition is department equals to accounts. If these two conditions are true, then only it should throw the error message. Otherwise, it's not required to throw the error message. Here, what I can do is, this is one condition and this is another condition. So, what I will do is, condition 1, comma, and this is condition. So, if these two are true, then only it returns true and validation should be thrown. Okay, now let me give the first condition in the validation rule. So as we know that we have multiple conditions, so we should use and. So for using the and also, what you can do is use this and insert the. So here logic 1, logic 2, logic 3, something like that. Logic means condition. Okay, first condition. Student fee, student fee less than 50,000. Second condition is the department should be accounts, right? Now how can we get whether it is accounts or not? So as this is the pick list, we have a function to check whether the value is specified one or not. We have is pick val. First pick list field value. Here what you have to do is, but if you give the syntax, check syntax, it will give the error because here this is one condition, right? This is another condition. So here brackets are ended. This bracket is ended here and this bracket needs to end. So here just give this syntax. Here there is no error. Now let's say this. Greater than or equals to 50,000. Okay, this is what the error message and where it should be on the student fee. Okay, so here just click on save. Now try to change. Student fee should be greater than or equals to 50,000. Let's say if I change the department, then it won't throw the error message because the department is different, right? So this is how you have to write the validation. So do you guys have any doubts on this? No questions? Give another example. If so, here we are just validating only for accounts, but what I need to do is, if for science also I need to validate, if the department is science also, the student fee should be greater than or equals to 50,000. Okay, here what we can do is, instead of writing another validation rule, here we need to update the validation rule. Means here if it is accounts or science, right? So what we can do is, here we have another one, department accounts and science. Okay, if they say that and, then that's indirectly or. In formula it will be or. Okay, so here department is accounts or department equals to science, right? So this is one condition, this is another condition. So if the department is accounts or science, what we can keep? R or and. So if you keep and, that means department should be accounts, department should be science. As it is pick list, there is no chance that we can have two values at a time. So we should always use only R. It may be science or it may be accounts. Okay, then how can we use the R? Okay, same way, however, we have and, we can have logic 1, here if logic, any logic 1 or logic 2, logic 3, any one logic is true, means if any one condition is true, then it returns true. Means here if you keep accounts or science, one is true, then automatically it returns true. And if this condition less than 50,000, automatically it throws the error message. Okay, now here inside and we need to give the or like this. right? And logic has separated. This is one logic and this is another logic. Okay, now let's use this. I'm starting the bracket. So first I'm ending the bracket. Let's copy the same counts as well as sums. Okay. Now just click syntax. Just let me know if you have any questions or any confusion in this formula. If you have any doubt, just ask.
Can we create that, no, can we keep that or function in between the departments?
Let's check syntax.
So it will consider whatever the department we have given, R, R function.
Yes, R function. So why we need to use R means either maybe science, either maybe accounts, or it may be some different, but it will not be combination of two. Accounts and departments both cannot be selected at a time in the pick list, right? So here, let's see here, I'd like to do something here. If science, it is less than 50, right? It's thrown there. Okay, we have to update the error message if you want, whatever you want. Okay, so that's how you have to write the validation. This is one thing. Okay, so another thing is, let's say I have cricket. Save. Let me give. What I need to do is whenever the people from department, I don't want to allow the people from arts to play the volleyball. Okay, so if the department, say, let's say the validation message, or let's say the requirement will be like this. Be careful, arts department play simple. Arts department should not play cricket. Let me give first. Okay, should not play cricket. Simple. Now here, so the thing is, logic is like this. There are two conditions. First, we know that and condition. Inside that, department should be arts. Then another condition. Okay, so here sports equals to, means if they select department arts and sports cricket, then we need to throw the error message. That's it, right? So now let's see how we can implement the same. I'm not writing the new validation rule, just changing for your reference. Now here we know that, and first thing we have to check whether the department is arts or not. So as it is a pick list, we have to select is pick value, and you can directly type department _C, or if you want you can just select from the, if department is arts. Now here, so as it is pick list, we use is pick value. And how about if it is the multi pick list, then we should have includes function. Okay, to verify I say includes function. Now here, Here, what is the multi-select field? Sports. This is the API name of the field. It should always be the API name of the field. And then here, what should be the value? Here we are saying cricket. Okay, just check syntax. Done, no errors. Now, just say that should not play selected sports. Okay, now the it should be, let's say, top of the page or something. So here, let's have another requirement. Play cricket, should not play cricket, or what is this? Hockey. Same way, however, we have done previously. It should be or. Okay. Select the same. Here, just use. Both also, it will throw the error. Okay, say this. Throws the error. Now let's change simple thing. Say and hockey. A small word has been changed. Means arts department should not play cricket and hockey. Okay, both should not be selected. If they select any one, means cricket or hockey, that's fine. They should not select both. Okay, then here instead of R, simply keep for includes function you can have and condition. But for is equal function you can have only R because two values cannot be selected at a time. Understand? As we have selected cricket and hockey, it throws the error automatically. Now let's change. I don't want to play this. Okay. Now here, so we have already talked about that. We should the validation rules will be fired whenever a record is created or updated, right? But what I need to do is, so whenever the record is edited, I don't want to fire the validation rule. I don't want to fire the validation on updating the record. Means if you edit and save the record, it should not fire. Okay, so let's say in that case what we can do is, so we have a function whether the record is creating or updating, we should know that, right? So then we have a function called isNew is a function, let's say here what I'm doing is new comma separated. Means now what happens is this will fire only on creation. Means isNew returns true if the record is new record. If you are updating, it returns false. Okay, so now simply what happens is if you save the record, isNew function returns true if the record is getting created. It returns false if the record is getting updated. Okay, be careful on this. Now let's say here edit and hockey also I'm selecting this. try to save the record. So as this is the updating record, it won't fire the validation. Alright? And let's say now let me clone the record, same record. Okay? I have two things and then hockey and cricket both are there. Try to save the record. It will throw the error. Because as we have given the is new means if the record is getting created then only we need to throw the error message. Okay, so if I don't want to fire this validation on update, this is how we have to do. If I want to fire the validation only on update, so for now on creation only we are firing the validation. Now what I need to do is on update only I need to fire the validation. So then what we can do is we have another function called not of condition. Not of condition means if it is true it will return false, it is true for it returns false, if it is false it returns true. Okay, so what I will do is not of is new, just simple not of. If the record is not new means if it is old record then only fire the validation. Okay, so we are checking the different conditions and we have seen or we have seen again includes is pick val and now is new and not condition. Okay, now just simply check the syntax, save the record. Now here on creating it should not fire the validation, simple say this, it's not fire. Now simple edit and save the record, automatically it will throw the error line because the condition is already true and just you are editing the record. Okay, so this is how you have to write the validation rule. Okay, now okay, for now do you have any questions on these functions and or not is equal includes? No? Okay. So let's have another validation rule. Student fee should not be updated once it is set. Student fee should not be updated once it is set. Means if the student fee is blank, then you can set a value. If it is already there, some value is there, then you should not allow the user to update the student fee. This is what the requirement. Okay, let's see how to implement the same. Student fee should not be changed. You have to check whether the student fee is changed or not. So there are two conditions. First thing is student fee not be should not blank and in this case only we have to throw the error message. Means it should not be blank and now they are changing. Then only we have to throw the error message. So there are two conditions. Means two conditions should be true. Then we have to keep one condition and this is another condition. Okay. Now let's try to implement like this. Now we have to check whether the student fee is blank or not, right? So what we have to do is checking the blank is blank. We have a function called is blank. Okay, so try this is blank of, okay, and then again whether it is changed or not, right? Is changed. If the field value is changes, it returns true. You have to select the same fee. Then you have to throw the error. But here it should not be blank, right? If it is already blank, if you are changing, that's fine. If it is not blank, then if you are changing, then automatically it will throw the error. It should throw the error. So here what we can do is not not be blank and it should be changed, means then only it will throw the error message. Means if the student fee is not blank and if they are trying to change the value from 50 to 60 something other, then it should throw the error message that student fee should not be changed. So it's on student fee. Now let's go there and try to change the student fee. Now here let's say, let me make it blank. Let me blacken. Okay, so let's activate the validation loop now. If you deactivate, then validation rule will not fire. Be sure that, so whenever you are creating a validation rule, it should be checked. Okay, now here go and edit this student fee to something. Not is blank. Okay, so the very simple thing is there are two things, is blank and is null. Okay, if the field is text field like text or date, okay, date time or text area, the value will be blank by default. If it is a date field, sorry, if it is a number field, then it will be, the default will be null. Okay, so what we have to do is instead of is blank we have to use is null. The same way, just remove this is null. Will be a question, interview question. What is the difference between is blank and is null? Is blank you use it to verify the value is empty or not for text, text area or different other fields. For number and date fields, you can verify using the is null function. Is null function. Okay. Now let's say save it. Student fee should not be changed. what we are doing wrong is,
Not
so currently what we are doing, so is not null, that's fine, but we have to check previous value. So whatever the record was having, that value should be blank. Okay, so what we can do is prior value of, I forgot that. Prior value of, be careful about this. Prior value is not null and prior value is not blank. Let's try this. So actually we are trying to compare with the same value. That's why it is throwing the error. But what we have to do is we have to check for the prior value. Prior value means previous value. So previous value, if it was blank, then we can change it. But if the previous value is having some value, then it should not be changed. Okay, so I forgot to add the prior value. Okay, so these are the functions we have seen, and we have lot of other functions to learn. So let's say case FID. So contents is much important. If is also required, includes we have already seen, is change, is clone, we need to check, is change we have already seen, is number or condition we have seen, not we have seen. Okay, so till now what are the conditions or what are the formulas we have seen? So tomorrow I need the list of things, okay, and with explanation.